Are now recording. Welcome, good afternoon, everybody. It's November 2nd, and this is the final week of our 4-week program in which we did the three challenges in the first 3 weeks, and then in the fourth week is sort of I'm going to call it a free for all. I said in the beginning that I didn't have a plan for this week, and I still don't, in the sense that I asked last week. By the way, Karen, you got a picture last week, or on Friday? You sent me the screenshot of the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you do another one?
Okay.
And the reason is that on the one we sent Friday, we had one person who was their camera was off, so we got this big hole in the middle of the picture.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
so you're all becoming photographic evidence. And,
Oh God.
and Stacy actually asked me for the picture, and I'm not sure what she's going to do with it, but I'm sure it's going to be used in advertising in MLSP for Stacy's next set of courses. So is that all right with everybody?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Okay. So, Kim, was it you the other day who said that you had horses, or your target audience?
Yes.
Can you tell me just a little bit more about that?
You mean what I do with them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I do is I help equestrians transform their spooky and reactive horse into a calm and confident partner.
Okay. So you made the comment, and this is for everybody, by the way. This is very important. I went away and thought about something you said the other day, and I want to come back to it. You said that in the groups you're in, there weren't very many people that are interested in MLSP or network marketing or business. I'm not sure exactly what you said.
It was MLSP that they're not interested. You know, I don't see anybody in those groups because they talk about horses.
Mm-hmm. And why are you in MLSP?
Well, because I feel like I'm not really different sometimes because my background was in information technology. And so I did computers for years and was always way ahead of the game on stuff like that. And then when I started my business, since I knew that in the technology, I was way ahead of them and learned about marketing where they were still at the barn giving lessons and stuff. And I'm like, no, I need to learn about this so I can do online courses, learn how to market myself. And so that's what I got into it. And then I've been in network marketing for years, bunch of different companies.
Do you own horses?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're in network marketing because you want to make money to support your habit.
Well, I would like for my horse business to be the main thing,
Yeah.
but I realize with network marketing, it's residual income that's going to help pay you.
So where I'm headed with all this is to consider the following, that if you started to ask the question amongst the horse people, a different question, like, how are you fixed? I'm not sure what the right words are because I don't want to, but how are you planning on paying for your habit? I mean, look, horses are a very expensive habit, right?
Right.
And it just takes a lot of money to own a horse and to take good care of it. So I'm wondering if you began to talk to the people who were in your groups about how they pay for their horse, how they pay for the care. If you wouldn't find people going, oh God, it's a real problem. I would really like to have some extra money coming in. And then they become a candidate for
Right.
whatever else you may have, and in ultimately a candidate potentially for MLSP.
Right. And I'm sure there would be. I know for me, I've been working on mindset for a long time. So it's just some of those mindset things that you start thinking about of talking to people.
Right. So
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
was on a plane on Thursday, and I sat next to a guy from Cleveland, Ohio, and I was telling him that I was heading up there next week, and that my sister had horses, and he said that the cost of hay is just going to be extraordinary this year up in that Ohio area. So I don't know if you have any friends in Ohio or connections or whatever, but that might be an in. Like, hey, like here, I hear the cost of hay is going to be really high. If you're looking for a way to make some extra money, I might have something for you. If not, no worries.
All right.
So anyhow, I just wanted to toss that out as a thought to maybe expand your thinking a little bit into what other services besides caring for their horses, what other services you might be able to provide, because one of the reasons, there's two reasons I don't own horses. One is they're expensive, and two is they take a lot of time. And I'm not willing to devote the time. I have a dog, and there are many days that I sort of wish that I didn't have a dog, because like I'm getting ready to go to Cancun the first weekend of December and for 5 days, and I still don't have any place for the dog to go. So one of the reasons I love animals, but I don't have very many these days. Back when the kids lived with me, when and I was a single parent for 14 years, but when the kids lived with me, we broke in the town we lived in. I'm sure they had a law about how many animals you were allowed to have in your house, and we broke it for 14 years. We had lots of animals, no horses. So anyhow, I asked you last week what you would like to do. There's two things. I also, in the message I sent today in Messenger, for those of you who have seen it, I put a link to my Calendly, and it's completely up to you. I mean, there's no obligation here, but I'm giving you a link. It'll make it easier for you to schedule a one-on-one with me. And the link is only a 15-minute time period, but I can assure you that we'll have more than 15 minutes. But I'd like to get a one-on-one going with everyone who's interested in a one-on-one, and just talk a little bit about what your next steps might be and where you're going with this. Okay? If I can do anything to help you. And this is all, there's no charge. This is all free. It's on me. Now, one of the suggestions that was made last week in terms of things to talk about is the next steps in MLSP. Diane, I think you suggested that.
Yes.
How many of you are new to MLSP, and how many have been in it for a while?
I'm new.
I'm new.
New.
Diane's new. Nancy, did you say new?
Yes.
Victoria?
New.
New. And Kim, you've been in it for a while.
Just about a year.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let me take the newbies, and you too, to the MLSP back office and begin to share with you a little bit about what you have back here. So this is, now, does everybody know how to log into your MLSP back office? Is there anybody here who's going, what's a back office? Where's that? I mean, and don't be embarrassed to say, I don't know, because I will tell you the truth that there was a few years ago, not very many years ago, when I asked exactly that question. Somebody was talking to me about the back office, and I went, what's a back office? Where do I find one of them at? Okay, so we toss these terms around all the time, assuming everybody knows exactly what they mean and where to find them. So,
Right.
so don't be ashamed to say, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, the first thing you'll notice, how many have actually been to your back office and looked around?
Yeah.
Victoria, Karen? Okay, cool. So the first thing you're going to find is that there's a menu up here. There's a main menu, and I'm not going to go down the main menu. The most boring thing I can think of in the world that trainers do is go to the main menu and say, here's your account tab, here's your profile. We're not going to do that. But there is a simple tab that says Start Here. And now all of you have access to MLSP for at least a few more days. Depending on when you actually signed up and paid your dollar, you have a 30-day free access. If you haven't upgraded your account, that access is going to end sometime probably next week. But for the time being, you have access. And so I would recommend that you take advantage of it. There's a simple setup, and I would suggest that you go down through this simple startup. So we're going to start here, and I'm not going to take you all the way into all the simple startup, but you can see that it's laid out in nice little steps. Step one. Welcome to MLSP, the foundation and the overview. It's only a 3-minute video. If you haven't watched it, come on back and watch it. And then much of this stuff, some of you have already done, probably all of you have already done it. You all know, you're all in the MLSP VIP group, and you may not be on the messenger list. So you might want to just do that, get on the messenger list, like the fan page. The VIP members group is where we've been finding the videos that we're using. And then there's a couple of other things. There's a couple PDFs here that you can download and a getting started checklist. Now these PDFs are valuable whether you stay with MLSP or not. So I would just take advantage of the stuff that's back here. Now, there's step 2. I'm not going to go through all these, but this one is sort of important. So the core question that everyone wants to know, and every one of your customers has the same question, no matter what you're talking to them about, is, can I do it and what's in it for me? And here's the what's in it for me. What is MLSP and how does it help me build my business? And I'm gonna pass that over for just a moment, but I'm gonna suggest that you come and watch it. It's a 10-minute video. Then there's a couple of other steps here: how to set up your system and get started generating leads, how to make money as an MLSP affiliate. Now, I'm going to tell you that in the years that I've been in MLSP, MLSP has been my best income source. Just being an affiliate of MLSP has been my best income source. It's relatively easy, if you follow the MLSP system, to find people who are willing to take a look. And when we have all of the stuff we have right now, things like Go for Yes for $1 and 30-day trial, it's really almost a no-brainer to get people to go ahead and sign up and then start looking at what we have. If 10 people take the $1 30-day trial, 6 or 7 of them are going to drop out, maybe 2 or 3 are going to stay. That's okay. So you have making money as an affiliate, you have sharing MLSP lead gen campaigns, how to get leads, and you have sharing MLSP lead gen campaigns in groups. So these steps, step 4, 5, and 6, are sort of the critical starting point for how to use MLSP to earn money for you. And then there's a couple of other steps here. I suggest you just bounce through all this stuff and take a look at it. Build your audience daily action steps, and keep publishing no matter what. But they have several checklists that you can download. Now I'm going to come off the screen share for a minute. Now the reason I point all that out to you is this. Unless you're a old hat, been doing network marketing successfully for 10 years, you need what MLSP has to offer you. And I promise you, you're going to try to do it on your own. It's going to cost you a whole lot more and take a whole lot longer. I'd be curious, Kim, you've been in MLSP for a year. What's your take? I'm making the fatal mistake of asking a question that I don't know the answer to, so I shouldn't do it. But
well, I have stayed for almost a year, and because the value, there's so much value there, and what you may have to pay a coach would cost you a heck of a lot more
Yeah.
than what this costs you monthly.
Well, it's not just having to pay a coach too. And we'll go back to this too, because it's all of the trainings and everything that are back there. Have you gotten into Funnelizer yet, Kim?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you talk, you know, if you begin to talk to advanced network marketers, they're going to talk about funnels, and you got to have funnels, and there's places out there like ClickFunnels. There's lots of other options out there. The Funnelizer in MLSP is second to none. There's nothing out there in the market that can compete or do better or more than MLSP can do in Funnelizer, and it's included in your price. You've got it. It's already there. You want your own website? Now, you might have heard that MLSP took down its sites, which was you could host your own website on MLSP up until just a couple months ago. What MLSP found out is that out of 10,000 members, they had 10 members that were actually using MLSP sites. Most people weren't using it. And so they discontinued it. You can still build your own website. However, what they have right now that once again is included in your price. And by the way, you might think that I'm trying to sell you MLSP right now. You'd be right. Because the reality is you're going to pay for this stuff sooner or later somewhere, and you're going to probably pay a lot more for it and not have it integrated together anywhere near as seamlessly as you get it from MLSP in one place. So they have this thing called Funnelizer, and Funnelizer lets you build funnels. What's a funnel? You know what a funnel is. If you've ever cooked a meal, you know what a funnel is. Well, in our case, the funnel is something that we put customers in one end and get sales out the other end. So we take them through a series of steps. What MLSP offers you right now is, I'm gonna just make a test funnel here. Test, I probably already have one named test. I'm gonna create a new funnel. And I'm gonna tell it, now, I don't expect you to remember what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna tell it Homepage Hubs. Homepage Hubs is your new website. If you really truly want a website, and we can talk about reasons to have these, if you really truly want a website to send people to, and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg and a small fortune, build your own site, and have to figure out how to host a site and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, I have courses on how to do this stuff too, but you don't need it. Here's your website. We'll just let me just preview it. Come on, where'd you go? What went wrong? Create my funnel. I thought I did that. Funnel name, lens test. All right. There's the name, there's the test, create the funnel. Or does it have it already created? Is that what's going on?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
it's
one.
already created. Sorry. Okay. Edited. All right. So enter the page name. I'm just going to keep giving it the same name. You have control over all this stuff. And what I want is one of the page templates, the homepage hubs. So I'm going to preview the homepage hub. So this is one of the templates that's back there already that for you. And obviously, and it should be obvious, but maybe it's not, absolutely everything, and I'm not going to go through a training on how to do this stuff right now, but everything, absolutely everything on here is editable. So if I, I was going to close it and go to the editor. You know, I haven't, I have to tell you, oh, I am in the editor. No, I'm not. Let's go backwards. Come on. All right. Test. Sorry, I haven't actually done one of these things in so long that I should have practiced a little bit before I came in today. Save page and edit. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So once we're into the editor, all we have to do is come in here. I mean, we would want your picture in there, not her picture. You would want, hi, I'm whatever your name is, or whatever you want. Everything is editable. And this particular funnel leads to things like the attraction marketing framework and a lot of other things, but you can edit everything here. So basically what it amounts to is that you can have a web presence that looks like a very sophisticated website, and you can have it up. You know, arguably, if you've never used a funnel builder before or and aren't experienced with this stuff, it's going to take a few hours, but it really shouldn't take any more than a few. And for me, for example, because I've done this stuff so many times, once I get over bumbling around with it, and I just went and closed MLSP, I could create a website, a web presence in probably a couple hours. So this stuff is there. We also have back here the CRM, and I'm going to talk to you about the CRM later on this week, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. The CRM, Customer Resource Manager. Now, this is different than Aweber. It's different than an email list. And I'll explain that difference, but not today. But when I owned California Flight Academy, and I made this comment to you last week, when I owned California Flight Academy, I had a CRM for students that were applying to come to the school. And I paid $250 a month for a CRM only. And it didn't have anywhere near the capability that this CRM has now. One thing that I would tell you is that now it was 10 years ago and the technology has evolved. It was actually more than 10 years ago. But the technology has evolved, and yet prices have come down. But nevertheless, this one thing alone is really worth a small fortune. Plus, you have the entire training vault, the training library, my training library. And as long as you maintain your membership, you have all these courses back here that are absolutely free to you. Social media, network and prospecting, Go for Yes, well, you know that. Posting for profits, lead gen campaigns, on and on and on. There's like 40 courses back here that are free to you. If you're a member of MLSP, you own them. You want to learn some tips for Facebook Lives? There you go. How to do Facebook challenges. We looked at this one the other day, storytelling for profits. if you want to get into advertising, there's a whole section on advertising, which, by the way, I'm going to stop the share here. By the way, I do not recommend that you even think about Facebook advertising yet. The reason is that Facebook advertising is a big hole in the ground that you can pour a tremendous amount of money into and go get no useful results. If you can't do the things that we've taught in the last 3 weeks, if you can't create a post, put it up, and get engagement, then you're not ready for advertising, because you have to be able to create posts that get engagement. And when you get into advertising, you're going to spend your good hard-earned dollars on those posts and advertising. If you can't generate 10 leads a day on Facebook organically with your timeline, with what we've been teaching the last week, you're not ready for advertising. Believe me, I learned that the hard way. I spent several $1,000s on Facebook advertising about 6 or 7 years ago, because I got with a person who convinced me that Facebook advertising was the way I was going to make a lot of money. Just do what they did and I was going to make a lot of money. Well, I spent a lot of money. I didn't make any. Okay. So, Facebook, in the MLSP framework, Facebook advertising is step 3 of the MLSP framework. So you're not there yet. Right now you're in phase 1, which is building your audience, and also talking to your audience and selling to your audience. That's the first phase of the several phase system. They have the pillars, the MLSP pillars, and you're in pillar 1. So you're not ready to go into advertising. Don't even think about it. It'll cost you a lot of money until you're ready. And then in MLSP, there are several really good courses on how to do Facebook advertising. Okay. So your next steps with MLSP, if you haven't gone through the getting started, the start here, go to the start here and start there. And there seems to be a lot of confusion about where people should start. There's this big button that says start here. And so this should not be too confusing. Start there and go through that and get a feeling for the system and what you have in your fingertips. Right now, if you were to stay with MLSP, let me take you, we got plenty of time.